I can't stop it bleeding crashing. What's this? Can you even hear me? Let me go in the live dashboard and just send everybody over here. They're still in there. They might not be. It's got me streaming twice now. You're live. We're in. Right, here, there's people in. You're coming over. Can you hear me? Is my mic even on? It's not showing us registering any noise here whatsoever. Yeah, thank you. Hello, Guam Williams. Affected indeed. UK's back in. Vanessa Stavely, M-Obs, UK. Well, there we go. Hey, we're all bloody coming in. You all get a notification for this one, don't you? I can't stop it crashing. I think it is something to do with Origin because it's been doing it for the last couple of days. Or I think it was Gameplay Tactics was saying maybe it's the what do you call it? Yeah, the graphics driver possibly. It's corrupted, so fuck it. Trying to get back in the stream on the phone. Imagine I can see the chat here just fine, can't I? So I'll just not use XSplit or anything. I'm just using Google's own webcam live stream thing here, which seems all right, actually. Don't think you can share your desktop with it or anything like that, but I think I've just inserted an ad. There'll only be UK Gadget Man watching now. That's brilliant. I didn't know you could do that. It's got a big dollar on the top of the screen. I didn't know what it was for. Did anybody just get an advert then? Hello, Brian Stavely. I need to sort out with Brian going on his. I've just been really busy lately. My mum's really ill at the moment. She's actually in bed now. She's gone to bed early. She's been in bed during the day as well today, so she's not in a good way. She's not in a good way at all. So I've just been busy and sorting out life, you know. I just commented to your other video, Side Face. Thought you'd gone. No, I'm out of that one now. Although I can still go. Oh no, I can't still go back to. No, I can't. It's gone. Hello, Buster. The Bald Guy's live. Quantum Entanglement. What are your specs? It's not a bad PC, actually. It's a Predator, Acer Gaming Predator. It's got gaming in the title, so, you know, it's gaming. It's not the best graphics card. It's a GTX 980, so it's a little bit old, but more than ample to do the job for The Sims. It's i7, 8700K processor. I do overclock it as well, so it's running at, I think it's about 4.3 gigahertz. Gigahertz at the moment. It's more than ample to handle it. It was doing it the other night fine, but Origin's been having some trouble at the moment, last couple of days, and that's when the game's been crashing. So I think it's to do with that, to be honest. XSplit is a little heavy duty. It is, although I've got to say on mine, it handles it quite nicely. It's a lot for laptops. If you're streaming from a laptop, I wouldn't recommend using XSplit on there, but it's more than ample on this computer. I got no ad. Good to see all these gamers in the community. Bit of escape, isn't it? Hello, Raleigh. I can't reverse collect to that call, by the way, that number you gave me. So what I'll do, I'll email you a Hangout link and we'll just do a Hangout, mate. That'd be the easiest way. I think my computer can handle that. I know you've got Hangouts because you've used it in your streams, haven't you? Oh, you've certainly had it set up, I think. Yeah, 980, it should be fine. It ran with a higher overclock last week, absolutely no problem. So I don't think the overclocking it's an issue neither. The heating issue on it, the heating element is absolutely fine because I've put Grizzly thermal paste in it, redid all my processor and everything. My temperatures stay well low. The fan never even ramps up anymore. It used to ramp up all the time. Out the box, it was useless, the thermal paste they sent. What's my origin name? I don't know. I can't even log into it at the moment. I don't know. I really don't know. Let me try and just open Origin and just see if it tells me. I don't even know. I don't. Never added people on there, to be honest with you. Oh, Scoot, well, I lost it again. Scoot, I think my brain has blown a fuse, so I scale back on my Scott Harrison vids. Best to when that happens. It's not even loading Origin now. It's saying it can't connect. OBS, I can't use OBS. Far too complicated for me. Just updated my PC, the latest Ryzen CPU. I bought a new CPU for this one, the i7 97K or something like that it was. And apparently my motherboard didn't take it. So even with a BIOS upgrade and everything, wouldn't work. So that was a bit of a pisser. Yeah, Origin, offline mode, can't connect. I'll try it again. There's something real bad going on with Origin today. I'll keep trying to get in it though and get my name up on it. What about RAM? 16K, 16K. Yeah, 16K, right? I remember when that was a thing. My first computer was 16K. Commodore 16. Showing me age now. 16 gigs of RAM, 3200, whatever it is. I can't keep up with all the fucking specs, to be honest with you. So plenty of RAM in there and nice, sped up nicely. I don't overclock the RAM at all. In fact, I don't even think it runs at 3200. I think it runs lower than that. Specky. I'll get Specky up and see. That takes a while to load as well. The RAM timings. I'll tell you what the RAM timings are, mate. RAM, still analysing. DRAM frequency, 1063 megahertz. That's a lot lower than I'd have thought, to be honest with you. It's Hyundai. I've got 2 sticks of Hyundai DDR4 2132. And if I go to slot 2, I've also got 2 sticks, all 8 gigs. Oh, 8, 16, 20. We've got 32 gigs of RAM, actually. I forgot I upgraded it. Yeah, 32 gigs of RAM. That's in. And Crucial DDR 2400. So I was lying with the 3200s. Well, that's running at 1200 hertz, and the other one's running at 1000 hertz. I can't. It's an Acer laptop, desktop though, so you can't put the XMEM settings on it. Hello, no one's flower. Oh, it's just the game. The game keeps crashing, so I've give up on it for tonight. We're back in YouTube chat, so it just keeps jumping all over the bloody place. Bear with me. Origin is so-called is like a sweet shop. They burn out their workers. I'm back, Tammy. Hello. So are you? Yeah, Scott. Get this new iPhone fired up, and I will Google Hangout. Sounds good, Scott. Man, I need a vacation or something. I'm lashing out at others. Come over here, Ali. Crash with Rob Wood for a bit. At his agent's house. She sent me an email the other day. I'm not MI5. Oh, are you then? MI6. It's going to crash again now, isn't it? If your phone keeps crashing on you, Scoots, just wipe it all, reinstall, do a factory reset on it. Tends to sort that sort of stuff out. I'm going to reinstall all my drivers. You've never got me down. What do you think of narcissists, Scott? I think nothing of them. I just avoid them. I know who that is, by the way. Let's go to the channel. You can't go to the channel of people. Oh, well, never mind. Night, Raleigh. Thanks for popping in, mate. Try Shadowplay, the inbuilt streaming software. Shadowplay? I've not got Shadowplay. Or is that in Origin or something? I don't use the in-stream stuff because then I can't link it to YouTube. Or can you? It's got to be on YouTube. I don't just stream to those bloody... I don't know where they stream to. It says, oh, stream your game online. And you think, where to, though? Actually, there's your other stream with the same title, waiting for the start. Yeah, they will be. Clock, Adam. Clock. Hello, mate. Oh, that film you posted up. Guys, right, listen. Adam Leftance. Go to his channel and watch his latest upload. Assuming it's not been copyright struck and removed now. Mate, I'm pretty sure that is what we're living in. It really feels like it. I've uploaded a video on my other channel today, guys, and it is these big stones that you see, stone structures, not structures, just natural stone out in nature, and a bit of the outside of the stone's been chipped off, and you can see red brick underneath it. It's red brick covered in concrete. I'm telling you, it's so fake, this world we're in. It's so fake. It is a low RAM speed, isn't it? I'll have to work out how to get it up. UK Gadget Man has a very high RAM speed. He's in one of my videos, by the way, on the other channel. It'll be up probably tomorrow, actually. That'll get released. But we went to see an old Roman fort, more fake history, more red bricks covered in concrete in a Roman fucking fort. It's brilliant. It's good video, that. You'll have to watch it tomorrow. Goes on a bit. years ago, people said I don't need that much. Now, people still say that, don't they? They say, oh, 8 gigs is enough to run every game and all this lot. It's not. They don't consider what else is going on in your computer in the background. I mean, there's about 50 things loaded up in the background on mine here. Oh, it's just come up with a warning Origin again. Still unable to sign in. Reconnecting. No. It won't sign me in. Origin. No. I don't even know how to find out my username on there. If I get signed in, I will. Jack say, I have a friend who is good with computers, but built a few gaming PCs for me. I need to figure out how to get some dough and get a new one built because the desktop I'm using is over 7 years old. Even a 7-year-old computer will play most games. The biggest con with computers is they don't really get that upgraded that much. I had a computer 8 years ago that overclocked to the same speed this is running now. You know what I mean? Graphics card. You don't really need to spend that much more than $100 on a decent graphics card, especially if you buy it secondhand. Buy graphics cards secondhand because people sell them because they just want the latest upgrade on it, and their old one's perfectly fine. Graphics cards last for years and years, even if they've been mined with, Bitcoin mined with, doesn't matter. They just go and go. I'm not surprised your internet's spotty, Jack. What you've been up to. Hello, Mr. Bobby. MI7, dude. I've got them on my case, man. What can I say? MI9. MI the lot. AMD and NVIDIA don't make drivers. Are they made third party then? Really doesn't surprise me. Oh, I had a little thing set up for tonight. I was going to do baking in the game, bake a cookie, and then say, oh, I'll reach in the screen and get it out. But I'm not saving the cookie till Origin's working again. Sod that. Research covert narcissists. They are the most dangerous evil people on earth. I have had a few on my case. I thought you were somebody else, actually, who keeps calling me a narcissist. I thought maybe you'd set up an account and done that, but it's not you. You're not who I thought you was there, but from saying that. But yeah, I know that, mate. I know a lot about narcissists, but I do find the best way is just to, wherever you can, just completely ignore them. And it's easy on YouTube. You can just block people, and all right, they open up another 8 accounts, but soon give themselves away. Tried switching it on and off again. Switched itself off. Virtual Nightmare, that's what it was called. Absolutely brilliant. Did you get a copyright strike for that, Adam? Because if you didn't, I'll play it now. Hello, Alone One. Speaking of clocks and watches, schools no longer teach students how to tell the time on a clock with hands. My friend has a 17-year-old son that cannot tell the time. Wow. Although, I don't remember the school teaching me how to tell time. Yes, I do. Of course, yeah. Back in primary school, early days of school, wasn't it? Where's the big hand? Where's the little hand? And that has a different meaning nowadays, doesn't it? They don't teach kids how to cook now, neither. We were taught only the very basics in school on cooking. We really were. I think I made a shepherd's pie once in a great big glass bowl, then I had to carry it home. And I was really looking forward to it. I'd done a good job with it. And I dropped it on the way home. I was so gutted. So I never got to try it. It smelled lovely when it was cooking now. But considering we had home economics, which is what they called the cooking class every week, I only remember one thing that they taught us to cook. My mum taught me to cook. I can cook really well, but only because my mum taught me. My mum taught me how to use the washing machine when I was still quite young, about 12 or 13 or something. She's had a few things in her life, like hepatitis, brain hemorrhages and stuff like that. Because she's always worrying that she won't be around. So it's quite morbid, but she'll say things like, I'll teach you how to do this in case I die. It's like, oh, fucking hell, Mum, can't you just say you're going to teach me how to do it? You don't need to add in case I die at the end of it. But she taught me a lot. And when I was married, I did all the cooking. The wife couldn't cook. She was 10 years younger than me, so she'd grown up different generation, really. And she couldn't cook. She didn't know how to use a washing machine at first. And her generation really wasn't that far behind mine, you know. So it happened very quickly where they stopped teaching people how to do this, just the simple stuff. But even my generation, they didn't teach how to do household stuff. They didn't teach cooking, cleaning, none of that. Not even personal hygiene. I'm struggling to think of anything I did fucking learn at school, and I listened, you know what I mean? It's not like I wasn't paying attention. Like your rainbow cloth. Right. Do you want to look behind the scenes? Do you want to see what the rainbow cloth is? Very simple. It's a white sheet with LEDs behind it. Foil at the top to bounce the light back. 2 blue bulbs at the top. Green LED lights at the bottom that run right behind. If I move the chair, you can see through the curtain. There's more LEDs here. I don't think my camera lead's long enough to show you behind the curtain. Oh, we're going Wizard of Oz style now. Show you behind the curtain. We've got a wardrobe. Yeah, wardrobe there. Stuck the 2 blue bulbs, and they're coloured bulbs. They can be any colour they want. And then strapped up some LEDs that again can be any colour they want. So it's easy to make a fancy looking background from virtually nothing. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, it's all falling apart now, guys. I've actually bought as well, you know, you can get them on eBay, really simple. The backdrop curtains with stands, like for the green screen, they do white curtains, which is where I got that white curtain from. And they do a black backdrop, a green backdrop, and a white one. I think it was about $20. Really good. And yes, I do roll my own cigs. Amber Leaf. Other tobacco brands are available, but that's the one I like. Yeah, Buster. 8 gigs, bare minimum. Bare minimum. For it to run smoothly. Even IT gameplay. I used to be in IT. I used to be an IT manager. Did very little with IT in the job, though. I'm only mentally certified. I'm not MS or ACP. They don't, Buster, they don't become obsolete, the graphics cards. People just think they are because of clever marketing. I've got a AMD HD 7700 from, God, about 10 years ago. That would run most of the modern day games now. It really would. Wouldn't run it on 4K, obviously. And that's the thing. The most recent advantages have been things like resolution. So first you had 1080p. So everything had to upgrade to that. And then they went to 1440. Even though they could have gone straight up to 4K. No, we'll go to 1440 because they could release another batch of cards in the meantime. And then they went up to 4K, obviously. Now you can get 8K ones, although they're more business-orientated cards still at the moment. But that's all they do. They hold back resolutions. I mean, we've had 4K for years, and yet not had the cards for years. It's just so that people will buy them, because then they've got to go out and buy a 4K monitor. They do the same with monitors. I mean, you're only just getting 4K monitors now, really. You know, like with 100 hertz refresh rate and that, 120 or whatever. They just hold stuff back. Vanessa, my unaffected boyfriend asked me if I wanted to talk about the ME with him. Should I be worried? It's probably going to go down the angle of, you do know how ridiculous it all is, don't you? Or something like that, who knows? But talk about it with him. And if you find that he's getting slightly angry, and because like they do, don't they? But maybe he's sort of seen a couple of things himself and thinks, all right, there is something going on here. Because a lot of people are like that, and a lot of people's partners are realizing. Hello, Sandy G. Just took me right down the chat again. Right, I've probably missed some chat out there, guys, but we'll pick it up from there. Hello, QAM. Loads of Mandela effects have happened. They happen every single day. Every day something changes. Or every day you'll notice something different. But we're certainly trying to try to monetize one of the Elvis songs. If you just look around, you'll see loads of changes, loads of Mandela effects happening. Loads with the body. The heart. MA was talking about in his live stream the other night, the heart. There's fucking valves coming off. There's between 3 and 4 valves coming off the top of your heart now, depending on the right autumn. Depending on which medical book you look at the moment, it varies from one to the next. So we're mid-shifting that, but loads in the heart, loads. Red Dead Deception. I feel like a mythical creature, girl my age that can cook. It is. I didn't cook that cookie, no. I did bake some bread today, though. I say bake it. Buy it from the shop and then you put it in the oven to finish off the baking. Mum makes her own bread, though. Bloody lovely. Oh, watch the rest of that movie, Jack, definitely. If anyone's wondering, Games Over Girls is Scotty Balo, who's Jack. Just so that's cleared up. What's to talk about it late? I'm scared because of what happened after I told my ex. Well, go for it and just see how it goes. But you know what? If it ends the relationship, then it's probably meant to be. Still got my kidney nostril. Hello, PlayStation. I learnt more on YouTube than school. Yeah, and you really can. See, that'd be another good channel to do, wouldn't it? Cooking tips for the young. And by young, I just mean, like teenagers that are leaving home and getting to their own house, or students that are moving out and living in dormitories, and just really simple. This is how you cook a beef burger, because they don't even know how to do that. You can grill it, you can fry it, you can even do it in the oven, bake it. It's lovely in the oven because you avoid all the extra fat going in. And it would really help people out. I actually got multicoloured light from the UK for behind me and my streams. My sons are going to help me get the room set up later. Just adds a bit of colour, doesn't it? It's so simple. Nice studio, thank you very much. It's just very basic. Give me a cookie. I ate the last one. I had a bag of 5 originally. All gone now. Tesco cookies. They had these for 99 pence. Or they had some branded ones. Branded cookies for £2. It's just dough. How much could it be difference-wise? Do you shave your head? Most of it. The middle bit here doesn't grow, so I'll just shave the rest off to match that. He gave up sugar. Bloody hell. I couldn't give up sugar. I'd have nothing to eat. Or drink. Drink Coke. Do you know Tesco's were the last store to be selling just cordial orange juice without the sugar, with sugar and not with sweetener, because I can't have sweetener. It gives me cramps. And I'd only discovered 2 weeks ago that Tesco sold this orange juice with sugar in and not sweetener. And I went back for a bottle last night when I got my cookies. And I says, "Where's your orange juice with sugar in?" She says, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, you did orange juice with sugar, not sweetener last week." I said, "Now it's all just orange juice with sweetener." She said, "Oh yeah, we stopped it because the government have put tax on it." I says, "I know they put the sugar tax on. Got a sugar tax here in the UK." I says, "But that's what I want. I'll pay the extra for it if needs be." "Oh no, no, the Tesco's have decided to stop it because of the sugar tax." They put how much tax on cigarettes, but you still sell them. Narcissists are too proud to believe in the ME. Yeah, because they'd have to admit they were wrong on something, and they can't. I mean, that's the big thing we all have to admit, innit, at the start. Yeah, we've understood the whole world wrong. It's why a lot of flat earthers are in the ME community, because they've dared to question reality. I mean, I don't actually think we're on a flat earth. It's possible. I don't say we're not, but I think it's more a simulation than a shaped thing. So it doesn't necessarily have to have a shape. But if it is a real thing around us, then it would have to be flat. It can't be a globe, a spinning globe. Jake Paul or Paul Logan, one of them. Logan Paul, fucking hell, I don't know. Fancy having two first names. Was it Logan Paul who went to the Flat Earth Convention? Well, he was shilling. He was totally shilling. He even gave an interview to Flat Earth Fokker, who was talking to on Brian's channel. And Flat Earth Fokker actually met up with Paul Jake, fucking whatever the name is. I don't know. But Logan Paul, wanker anyway. But he met him at the convention there, and he was interviewing him and saying, "You're not taking the piss, are you?" He's like, No. Genuinely, he was taking the piss, and he's admitted it tonight. He's a video's gone up on Patty Mayo's channel, and they're taking the piss. They're pretending that two flat earthers have broken into his house to attack him because of his shilling, and because he basically went to the Flat Earth conference and then made a documentary called Flat Earth that says, "Oh, it's round." Well, if we're on a spinning globe, he's still not explained how we're held down. I suppose he thinks it's that theory, the conspiracy theory that scientists come up with called gravity. What about the scientific facts of centrifugal force that throws you off a spinning object? Oh no, we'll go with the theory side because that fits with the globe. Yeah. However, we could be on a spinning globe, but we'd have to be inside it. You'd have to be inside the spinning globe, because then the centrifugal force would throw you to the outside and pin you to the outside edge. So we could be inside. That's possible. Oh yeah, ray trace. Don't forget ray tracing. Need to get a new graphics card for me ray tracing. The only Ray you need in your life is Ray's Chippy, let me tell you. We've got messages being held. I'm so far behind in the chat, but then that's what I do, isn't it? I get so far behind. I'll jump down a bit. I have an old NVIDIA 9800 GT that probably wouldn't run too many games from today. But you'd probably be surprised. Drop the settings. It won't do ray tracing. Skookum's shamelessly plugging her channel there. Skookum does live streams for people who both are affected and just find this world strange and odd. that we're in now, and it is a very strange, odd world we're in now, guys. But Skookum does live streams quite regularly. So if you want to listen to a batty old lady going on, get over there. No, she's all right. She's good, and I'm always in there. Everybody subscribe to each other. That's the thing. JW's in. JW does videos. Hello, JW, by the way. Did you know that the average millennial knows about tech but does not know how to start a fire? Yeah, that's a good point. Grow a vegetable from a seed, build a shelter, siphon gas, etc. No survival skills, none at all. And do you know what? I mean, I don't think I learned any survival skills in school at all, but I learned a lot from YouTube, and that's one thing I suppose is a benefit with the tech, is that you can learn these things through the tech, but most people just sit there and watch the crazy Russian hacker with some worthless, bloody pointless gadget gizmo thing that, you know, costs a fortune and doesn't really do what you want. Hang on, my door's banging. To and fro, yeah. It's annoying me. They don't, you know, the Arthur gadgets, like these bloody waterproof matches they get, great big triangle ones. You know, it's not the sort of stuff you need, but even he does some good stuff. But people, a lot of them would just watch it and not retain the information. They don't retain things because they're used to being able to go back on YouTube and check it again. The difference with our generation is we had to retain things. Now, I'm not as good at retaining stuff as I used to be. Things like phone numbers. I don't know people's phone numbers because I'm not dialing them. In the old days, we had to dial every number we wanted to ring, and you did it on this big spinny thing, you know. 3, 3, 3, 1, 2, 4, 9. And it stayed in your head because that's how you did it. People's addresses, you know, you could say to somebody, oh, where does such and such a body live? And they'll go, oh, they live in Birmingham. Whereabouts? Oh, I don't know. I've been there a few times, but I don't know, because they never write down the address. It's all done digitally and automatically copy and paste. So they're not used to retaining anything. And because information's so freely available on the internet, they think, well, if the shit goes down, I can just Google it and find out what to do. If the shit goes down, Google ain't there. And it'll probably have been blocked by then anyway, even if Google is there when the shit goes down, which it might be. But they'll have blocked anything useful, like they're blocking everything now, like they block anything that they consider truth or usefulness, you know. I may do a few videos on, I've said this before, but I may do a few videos on survival, and just in the summer, because, you know, don't want to do it in the winter when it's cold, but in the summer, I might just go out and literally go out with next to nothing and survive in the woods for a week or something like that on just what I find. Man, you can't do it round here. I mean, there's not really creatures to hunt or anything like that. So, although when me and Simon were out the other day, UK Gadget Man, we found a deer. We was in slight woodlands next to a big council estate, and this really dark brown deer, I've never seen anything like it in my life, was strolling at the side of us, and it had this big fluffy white arse. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And I'm filming the other way, and we both sort of spotted it out the corner of our eyes, but as we've turned round, just missed filming it because it just ran off into the woodlands. I chased it down, but I couldn't find it again. But, you know, maybe go out with some food packed cooked already, so that you can just cook it up on a fire and that. And try a few techniques of, like trying to light fires with, if it's summer, I can use a magnifying glass. But even the old wood. I can't say it, but hopefully I can do it. Wood rubbing. I mean, I've never done any of the survival stuff, so it would be interesting to try and put it into practice to see how hard it is. I'd love to do that. Obviously, I won't be totally out in the wilderness because I'll have my mobile phone with me to film. But modern life. Hello, Preliminal. Baking with Scott. I'm still at the Tesco cookies here, so I don't know how far behind in the chat I am. That was ages ago. I've not even got any stuck in my teeth anymore. It was that long ago. I'm going to come down the chat a bit, guys, so if I've missed anything, you'll just have to pop it in again. Bloody hell, I'm well behind on the chat. Loads of messages held back. Right. Oh, is Raleigh back again? Hello, Raleigh. He's in and out like a dick in a horse house, that man, I tell you. Sunny 3, hello. Yeah, those phones. Yeah, the old dial phones. I nearly bought one from a charity shop. Well, it was an antique shop, actually. Me and MA were out up in Hebden Bridge, I think it's called. And they had one of the old phones there for £20. And I thought, I'm a tight ass. I thought, no, I'm not paying that much for a bleeding phone. I wish I had now. Can always borrow Rob Woods though, can't we? he's got the old red phone. He brought that over from America. When he's packing his bags. I mean, you've only got so much weight you can take on planes, so much you can put in your case. And he took that bleeding thing. Hello, QP. I still have my black 70s phone with analog answering machine. Yeah, the old analog answer machines with the tapes. And you could do the little beep beep thing to hack into them. That was the first form of phone hacking they had as well. Local man lost in Manchester. No, I had nowadays. I get lost in Manchester now. Now, I see UK Gadget Man's commented there with a big white arse cheeks. He could be talking about the deer. Or maybe something else. So I'll assume the deer. You never know with him. It's filthy. Spends half of his time Googling MILFs. MILF floats. Private joke. There's a deer that goes to my local shops every morning and the butcher feeds it. He's only feeding it up. He's getting it ready, mate. He's getting it ready. One day, that deer won't be leaving the butchers. And it'll be venison all round. Of all the places to go. Oh, my God. Hello, Go-Kart Bob. It's 3:20 here, but I'm cheating. I wish I was, mate. I wish I was. Been a long time. Our phone machines sound much better than wobbly cell phones. Well, they're making the cell phones sound bad again so that when they introduce 5G, everybody will go, oh, brilliant. The quality's so bad on 4G, you know. Fucking hell. I mean, I remember when 4G first came in, it was really fast. Now it's not as fast as it was. And they say, oh, well, it gets slowed down over time with more people coming on it. It's bollocks. It gets slowed down because they slow it down so they've got an excuse to introduce 5G. And then they can just charge everybody more. The price went up on my phone when I went from 3G to 4G. Well, to be fair, it didn't initially because I was on a beta trial with it, with giffgaff. And you had to sign up and say, you know, like, oh, I'll try 4G. I've got a phone that does 4G, and I had a 4G phone, so I went with it. But I won't be buying a 5G phone anytime soon, so don't bother me when they bring it in. If your mother is a narcissist, should you go no contact with her? I value family quite highly, but I mean, I have nothing to do with my dad. He's a bit of a narcissist, but you know, it depends what kind of relationship you've got with them, doesn't it? Really. You can only ever decide that for yourself, really. Now people don't even call because they use stuff like Discord and Snapchat. Yeah, and Facebook Messenger. That Messenger is awful. Oh, bleeding hell. That got installed on my phone. I think it had done an update on the system where, and it's all of a sudden it just like had Messenger on there. I don't know where it came from, who gave it permission to go on there or what. I don't know, but it 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 was awful. It was just beeping all the time. People I'd not spoke to in like 10 years. Who are you? You waved at me. I fucking didn't wave at you. I didn't wave at anybody. And this is in my day, that's how you waved at someone. Or wait. No, now you just turn your phone on and apparently you're fucking waving at everybody and they're all waving back digitally. A digital wave. Fuck your digital wave. Give me a proper wave or I don't want that to do with you. Somebody's going to put a wave in the chat now, aren't they? Keep in the pea pods this Wednesday. Oh, Vanessa's modern. She lives on Discord. Oh, I didn't even like that Discord. I couldn't reply to people. It's like a message had come up and you couldn't like just click on it and reply to it or anything like that. It was awful. The Cooking Pot Harrison channel. I'd subscribe. It is a thing that would be useful because, like I say, they don't even know how to cook oven chips. They don't even know where to cook oven chips. Like, well, what do you do with oven chips? And for people in America, it's just fries, basically. We call fries chips here. How do you cook these oven chips? Put them in the fucking oven, you idiot. No fap. Oh, see, I don't do porn. I've not been interested in porn for years. It does nothing for me. Saying that, when I was sort of 17, 18, the internet was sort of became a bit more widespread, not invented, but became more widespread. And I had all the porn I ever wanted. I mean, it took an hour to download, but you know, you'd generally done by then anyway. By the time the tits came up, you know, it's coming down a line at a time. Yeah, think, well, she's pretty. Fuck it. But porn has not interested me for years. So yeah, I suppose I have give up porn really, without trying or anything. It just didn't interest me. No porn, no masturbation, no orgasm. I'll stick with the porn, the no porn. Sunny 3 doesn't even have 4G yet. Wow. It's the same as 3G. So you're not missing out, don't worry. It's how fast 3G was when it first came out. And then they slowed it down. And 4G is now as fast as 3G was when that after that had been slowed down. So yeah, it's just fucking con, all of it. It's a con. Currently on 69 days of no fap, my longest streak so far. You shouldn't be streaking if you're no fapping. You see, the thing with 5G, it's not what all these scaremonger channels say. You know, like Richie from Boston's like, the world's going to end. It is what it is. The thing that worries me with 5G is it's a tighter band wave, so it won't go as far. So you won't have as good a signal for as long. So they're going to put more base stations up for it. But the nearer you are to an antenna, the more harmful it will be. It'll be slightly more harmful than 4G, but we're getting whacked by these rays every day anyway. And this is why so many people have cancer now. You know, when I was a child, me and Emma were talking about this on the phone the other day. When I was a child, cancer was such a rare thing. If somebody got cancer, it was a shock. It was like, oh my God, such and such a body's got cancer. Shit. You know, and it was so rare. And it was a death sentence as well, you know. Now, I think they say something like 3 in 4 people will get cancer in their life. And it's like, well, you know, let's look at the source of this. And the one thing, you know, a lot of people blame fluoride in the water. Well, there isn't fluoride in the water everywhere, but cancer rates are up. So the one thing we have got everywhere in the world is mobile phone technology, cell phone technology, and microwaves. And microwaves are definitely harmful to us. So I do think that's where all the cancer's coming from, and 5G can only make it worse, can't it? But it's not like where they say, you know, it take over your brain and all this lot. They can already read our minds. I don't know what they're using to do that, but I know 100% fact they can read our minds. I will think about something I need. And I mean, just think about it, not say it out loud, not discuss it with anybody. And the next thing, I'll get an advert for it. The next advert that comes up on YouTube will be for what I was thinking about. As well as whatever you search for on the internet is all monitored. and tracked, and they can hear everything you say. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and it was a conversation over the phone. I've got all Google shit turned off on my phone. It's not got access to my microphone, allegedly. And yet, I got an advert for it. So they're listening to everything we say all the time. And we let them do it because we all carry these fucking things around with us. We open the door to them. But how can you live life without one nowadays? Well, I tried it for a year. It wasn't easy. But they can read our minds. Now, I don't think it's through cell phone. It could be. I mean, they really could be doing. But if it is, then they're already doing it. 5G is not going to make that come in. They can already do it. So it's like people speculate about things without any knowledge on it. And saying that, like these people that come out and they say, 5G is going to be able to read your mind and it's going to be able to do this and that and control you and do stuff like that. They've been able to do that for a long time now. Maybe 4G was the first time they could do that. Maybe 4G is the technology they use for it. Maybe 3G, who knows? But they've also been able to affect people. And I think it's with the cell phone towers. Again, I can't be sure. None of us can be sure that it's those that are doing it, but I think it is from what I've seen. There's a place here, in Wales, called Bridgend, where a lot of people are suddenly committing suicide. And it is thought that was done through the cell phone towers. Now, this is when we had 3G, never mind 4G. So they can affect your mood with them. I know they can because we've got 3 tower blocks next to us here, and each single one of them had multiple antennas on the roof, and one of them has had all the antennas removed now, and my health and my well-being went up with just the removal of the towers off one of the buildings. There's still 2. Lots of towers. I'm going to say lots of towers. There's a great big one in the middle. It looks like the old spinning washing lines. And there's several on the outside. Dishes, repeaters, antennas, fucking everything. None of them point up, by the way. None of them go to satellites. But I think for that reason that it is that. But again, I can't prove it. I can't say that's what's causing it all. But whatever it is they're doing it with, they've had the technology for a long time. A long, long time. Lloyds of London are refusing to insure anyone for damage to their health from 5G. Nothing to worry about. It will damage health because the other ones do. So it's got to, hasn't it? Isn't there a way to shield yourself from 5G's effect, like EMF protection and stuff? Now, in Holland, they have this paint that you can buy, and they've got laws in Holland where you can be protected from wireless signals, and it's all wireless signals. All your wireless signals are supposedly bad for you, and you put this, it's like really dark gray or black paint that you put on your walls. You put it all around your walls and nothing can come in through the walls. But if you have a device inside those walls, then you're getting it 6 times because it's bouncing off everything and staying in the room. It can't escape it. So there is ways to protect yourself. But what about when you're out in public? How do you do it then? Are you going to walk around with a big metal cage around you? I mean, I would say it's impossible, and you're still going to have windows so it can come through the glass. I doubt there is a way to protect yourself fully from it. You can probably protect yourself to an extent, but not fully. And foil does not stop it. Foil has holes in it now. You can see through foil. MA got me with that. He said, hold that foil up to your face. I held it up and I could see through it. So that's why foil doesn't stop radio signals, because it's not even metal anymore. With social media, people no longer talk one-on-one, face-to-face. Oh, lone one. I'll tell you who still does, old people. Now, I whenever I go out and about, I have to go on the bus, and I generally go at a time when old people aren't on the bus because they get in the way. But me and my mum, we've had to go to a few appointments lately, so we've had to get the bus at times that aren't convenient to us. Now, at 9:30, pensioners' bus passes kick in. They're allowed to use their bus passes. And so all of a sudden at 9:30, all the old people get on the bus. Oh, fucking hell, they all chat. Jeez. Rah, 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 rah. But if you get on the bus at any other time, then between 9:30 and 10 when they're all going out, and it's just like the younger generations on there, even my generation, generations below, they're all sat there, aren't they, on the phone, just head on in the phone, bum, 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 bum. Whenever I'm on the bus, I'm usually the only one that's not on my phone. And I'm looking now, I'm looking out the window, I'm looking at stuff. Nobody's talking. It is deadly silent. It's freaky. But yeah, people don't talk anymore. Cliff Richard had that right. Sandy G. I only get messages off people when they want something. Yeah. I used to get that a lot. I don't now. I don't ignore them. I ignore people and they stop texting. Now there's probably about 3 people that I will text back to. And I'm slow. I'm slow at texting back to people, but people who know me understand that. I'm not constantly checking my phone. It can go off, and I have it on silent most of the time. So especially like when I'm streaming or making videos or anything like that, I have to put the phone on silent because otherwise it's interrupting all through the video. So people understand that it might be the day after before I read the message and get back to them, but very few people I reply to. Really is. The rest have learned. Does anyone else feel slight pressure on the top of their head? So it feels like wearing a cap. I've had that feeling for 2 to 3 years. I kind of get something coming and going that feels like pressure in my head, but I don't have it constantly. So I don't know what's causing that. I really don't. But yeah, I get like a pressure feeling, like it's being squeezed, like your head's being squeezed into. Even when people are together, they're on the phones. Oh no, that annoys me so much. The school kids are the worst for it. If you get in the bus around the time school kids are getting on, there's like 10 school kids stood there, and even if they're talking to each other, they're down at the phones and like, yeah, yeah. In fact, they don't even look. I'm doing the look, like a cursory glance. They don't even do that. They're just like, yeah, I know, yeah, bump, yeah, yeah. What are you doing? I'm just on Facebook. All right, yeah. What are you doing? I'm on Snapchat. All right. Anything happening? No. Anything happening on Facebook? No. Well, why are you still looking at it? I don't know. Something might happen. Fucking. Sunny 3. I grew up spending summers with no electricity. Had to use a real fire pit. See, even as kids, we used to light fires a lot. We used to go down the woods, light fires. We burnt the woods down once, but I mean, it's what you do when you're growing up, isn't it? I love that lifestyle. You don't smell fires anymore. You used to smell garden fires going all the time. You don't smell that anymore. It's illegal. It's illegal to burn stuff in your garden now. Some people still do it around here. I'm not saying who. We've jumped down a lot here. Well, we'll jump through the chat again a bit, guys, because I'm really far behind. Firemen in the USA became very ill after a 5G tower went up near their station. They managed to get it removed. If you're that close to it, you're going to, aren't you? To any, I mean, even if it's 4G, they'd still get ill. There used to be a rule here in England where they weren't allowed to be within a certain distance of schools. And now, when I go around, I see them on the roof of schools. It fucking breaks my heart. It's fucking horrible. They don't care about kids in this world. We're in a world where kids are becoming less and less important and less valued. God, you can hear a kid scream in the street and nobody reacts. I mean, it's so rare to hear kids in the street nowadays anyway, but when you do and you hear one scream, nobody reacts, nobody comes out. I heard some screaming the other night. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. Wasn't a kid, obviously, but I heard some screaming. I'm thinking, what the bloody hell's that noise? So I went out, bloody got dressed, went out just to see if I could find what it was. I couldn't find out what it was, but nobody does that. Nobody goes out. Burglar alarm's going off. Nobody cares. Oh, bloody hell, that alarm's going off again. Car alarm's going off. Nobody cares. Richard D. Hall did an investigation into those suicides. Yes, he did in Wales. Makes for interesting viewing. Richard D. Hall, everybody. I like Richard D. Hall. I think he's honest. I trust him. I trust his research. He's very thorough. But he's not interested in the Mandela effect. MA spoke to him and he fobbed him off. So it gets him a bad mark. But other than that, he is all right. My family already think I'm an oddball. They would have me committed. Yeah. It's not the sort of thing to speak to people about, really, is it? I've learned that over the years. That's why I don't do the live streams anymore. I say ironically in a live stream. Did you guys... Oh, sorry, Alone. It feels like AI is keeping tabs on us. I will tell someone I need dental work, and here comes the dentist mailers. Yeah, my back hurts. I get emails from the chiropractors. You're giving credit to AI there, though. It's not AI, I'm telling you. We haven't got, just like we haven't actually got quantum computers yet, we haven't got AI either. We've got stuff close to what they would say is AI, but it's not. It's all just software specifically written to do what it does. As far as I can see, anyway, I've seen no evidence. I'm a computer programmer. I know how to do all that. I know how systems function and stuff like that. So I've seen no evidence of actual AI anywhere. I'm not saying we won't ever have it. I'm not saying we won't ever have quantum computers, but when they talk about quantum computers and that, it's like, oh, well, they dip into this universe and that universe. Well, that's what we say we do, and we're called mad. But a scientist comes out and says a computer can do it. Oh, that's acceptable. That's fine. Yeah, well, quantum computer. Scientist says. Science says. Did you guys ever used to scream in your mind in case someone was trying to read it? No. Family is so overrated. My cat has showed me more love than any family member ever did. You're so right. And do you know what? There's my cat now, sat waiting for me to go and let him in. So if you'll just excuse me for a minute, guys, I shall have to let the cat in. I'll be right back. I'll play you a tune while I'm gone, just to keep you occupied. And I'll play you an advert. Dum 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 dum. Yeah, I love my cats. They're absolutely brilliant. Show so much affection. Fucking lighter. I used to have a dog years ago as well. So, once these pets have gone, I'll never have pets again because of the responsibility of having to, you can't go out for a full day. My mum could never go on holiday because we can't leave the animals with anyone. But God, yeah, I love them. Love them to bits. Bloody hell. Unoriginal Nick will be doing a video of me lighting me fucking cigarette there. I've seen one huge new tower so far near a grocery. I think it's 5G. It's not good. It's not good. You need heavier foil. We don't have options in Britain for foil. There's just one lot available to us. Like in America, you can buy anything. You can go out and buy dry ice. You can't buy that here anywhere. Sunny 3, my cat understands English. Mine do. And depending on timelines, I actually understand them, what they want as well. Alpha gives different meows for what he wants. He does a really loud meow for I want to go out. He does a medium sort of meow for I want food. And he just does a little quiet meow when he's saying hello. And he does actually say hello. He goes, hello. And because I always tell him I love him, as he's going out, he goes, I go, love you. And he goes, love you. You don't believe me, but he does. It makes me sound mad, doesn't it? And oh, he's one of them crazy guys that thinks his cat's talking to him. The fucker talks to me. Yeah, yeah, Jack. It's weird how nobody talks anymore. I find it sad, but I don't like talking to people either. So I'm part of the problem. Is this why people don't talk anymore? Is it not just down to the phones? Is it because people are assholes now? A lot of people are. I mean, we're all talking here nicely, but most of us are just typing, aren't we? It's only me bloody voicing it out. But if we were in a room, we'd all be chatting to each other. We'd all be talking like the old world, you know, like in the olden days. But now it's like people just don't. And I don't talk to many people around here, you know. I mean, a couple of the neighbours I do. Um, but not often, not often. Like I say, the old women on the bus, fucking hell, they never shut up. God, got on there with my mum, and it's like, oh, bloody hell. I said, how can you stand this? And they're all talking nonsense, but at least they're talking to each other. I'm fucking far behind again, aren't I? It's just jumped to the bottom. Even when people do talk, it's just about themselves. Yeah, it's true. Small talk, yeah. Small talk does my fucking head in. It's like when people talk about sport and shit like that. It's like fucking hell. I mean, they're just repeating what they've heard on the telly the day before, or that morning, or what they've just heard on radio. They've nothing for themselves to actually say. They've no thoughts of their own. You need a permit to burn yard leaves and stuff here now. And who gets the permits and who doesn't? You know what I mean? How's it worked out? It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's just another tax, really, as well, I suppose. I bet you have to pay for the permit. Oh, night, Vanessa. She's probably gone. She's probably gone ages ago. Can't start fires, can't shoot people. What's left? Poor Alex Jones is finished. Now, do you remember people who followed me for a long time when I used to do the live streams? I said about 3 months before Alex Jones got taken off, I said there's going to be a big false flag with him. He is an agent. He's a complete shill. He's a NASA guy. He's a ball earther, and he was taken down as a test mark to see if there'd be an uprising, because they didn't know how bad it would be when they started to censor people on the internet. So they went for the person that they'd built up the biggest, and there was no outcry. There was nobody said, you know what I mean? Like, people said stuff, obviously, but nobody did anything. Nobody did anything about it. There was no riots, no mass protests, no tangible public reaction, online reaction. But what's that amount to? It's virtual reaction. You know, there was nothing done about it. Now, you know, whether you like him, support him, believe him, think he's a troll, government agent, or what, and I think he's all them. There should have been something happened at the time, because it gave them the green light to just start banning this, that, this, and that. The Mandela Effect is shadow banned on YouTube now. That's why my videos don't get views anymore. I had 6,500 subscribers at one point and would get 300 views on a video. So they're doing it with Tommy Robinson in this country. Now, I mean, I support a lot of what Tommy Robinson says, but I don't support everything. And this is what happens. For all I know, Tommy Robinson could be an agent, a shill of the government, or whatever. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think he is, but you know, what do I know? But they're banning him. They're letting him be attacked in the street while he's surrounded by police. People come up and punch him, and the police then will just give that person a lift somewhere. They won't arrest them. They'll just say, "Oh, we'll take you back to the station, mate, so you can get home." Even if he's a government agent, even if you don't agree with what he says or whatever, we need to be out protesting about this, because unless they see a public reaction against censoring people and deplatforming people, whether you like them or not, it will be you next. Just think about Nazi Germany, and we're in Nazi. I mean, they're talking about mandatory vaccinations here in Britain at the moment. One of the early stages of what the Nazis did. And nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Nobody's protesting. Nobody's doing anything. You get a couple of thousand people going out. And I was guilty. I'm not, you know, I went out to one of Tommy's marches, but we need mass social disorder, not virtual over the internet, not videos, not fucking comments, not Facebook posts. We need to go out on the streets and burn the fucking town hall down when it's empty. We don't want to kill people, but we need to show them, and we need to push back, because we're losing everything. Absolutely fucking everything. Scares me to death. Where are we going to be in 10 years if we don't stand up now? If that don't get this video banned, I don't know what will. But that's how I feel. It's crazy. I used to play video games, but still spent a lot of time playing out in the woods or skateboarding. Game Over Girls, you see, this is the thing. I used to play computer games when I was a kid, and they used to take an hour just to load up. And yet I would still play out. So what I'd do is I'd start the fucking thing loading, go and play out for a few hours, and then when I got home, it was there ready. Now, sometimes it had crashed, and I'd just have to sit there and let it reload again, but it didn't take over your life. I've had a computer since I was a young child, you know, and I've always still got out and done stuff, and we used to play out all the time, until it was like 11 o'clock at night, and then I'd come in and spend like 3 hours on the computer. Scott is a good man with a heart of gold. Thanks for this stream. It really helped my loneliness. We're all in it together. Thank you. It wouldn't be much of a stream if you lot weren't here, would it? I'd just be chatting to myself. Apparently, I got 30 people watching, which isn't bad since I've lost over 100 subscribers since I started doing my gaming. So, could you not hear it? Oh, I don't know how this. I don't know how this bloody system works with this. I don't know if you can play tune because this isn't normal streaming software I'm using. It's Google's own shite, and it's not very good. It's the first time I've used it, and I can assure you it'll be the last time I use it as well. No copyright strike. Won't get copyright struck anyway, that one. So, in fact, the name is actually in the description. You never got me down saying good night, but it was ages ago. So if you are still listening, night. Thanks for coming in. Anyone here watch Mag Bitter Truth channel? Never even heard of it. Never heard of it. Sonny, we're very low tech over here. I can only see if a cat wants to come in by looking outside the door. You can't see out the back of our house, so we've got cameras everywhere just so I can see outside and constantly monitor what's going on. Scott looks at his iPad. It's not an iPad. I don't have any Apple products. How dare you accuse me of such a thing, Sonny? It's an Arcos. My son's allergic to cats, so he has very small dogs. Do you know how you get over allergic reactions? Expose yourself to them more. My cats definitely have understood me at times, and I follow specific instructions when I tell them. Yeah, it's like Amber. When my mum says, right, bedtime, she just walks over and gets in a box. My cat sits and waits for me to put her food down. Yeah, Matt, do you know what both of mine do? They have a certain spot they sit in, and then I go and put the plate in front of them, and they just wait there patiently. Hello, Citro Gaming. Just jumped me down the chat a lot there. People talk about movies there. I can't watch movies, television, anything like that anymore. Very little. I watch things like I watch a couple of things on the BBC iPlayer, which is legal because we have a TV license. But have a license to watch the television, so we're okay. Otherwise, you go to prison. I do watch a couple of the chat show things, not chat shows, but they're like they call them panel shows here. I don't know if you have them in the US, but they talk about sort of political events and stuff like that. They talk a little bit about it, but it's mainly comedy, and it's wrapped up as if it's a current affairs program, but it's just a comedy show. I watch a couple of those things. It's about the only escape from, I'm going to say reality, but whatever reality we are in, that I do get, though very little I can watch. Tell you what, I did watch a few of either yesterday or today, I can't remember. Days are merging into each other. But I watched a little bit of Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares and Kitchens from Hell. It's awful. I mean, they're all the same. They've all got the same script. You know, he goes in there, he starts shouting at everybody, telling them how useless they are, and then they give him a sob story. Oh, God, and it's awful. You know, we've tried everything except serving proper, decent food, and we don't know where we're going wrong. You're serving shit food, man. Improve the food. And then all he does is changes a couple of recipes. They then invite a load of people in. Those people get free meals. That's why suddenly a restaurant that's, you know, on the verge of bankruptcy suddenly gets 100 people dining that night because it's free. The program makers have paid for that night. And it's the same one after the other. I watched about 3 of them, and it was just the same story played out in each one. It's the same with all those kinds of shows. Secret Millionaire, you know, like when the company owner goes in undercover boss. I don't know what they call them over there. If you watch one and then watch another one, you'll see the exact same script play out in both. Just got a few different characters in it, that's all. my mum's dying, and they're not. You know, it's all just made up shite. And suddenly, there's 100 people working in this place, but they've managed to find the one with the biggest sob story, and just happened to nip out on the break with them and have the chat. And then it's like they've got 3 cameras set up while they're having this chat. You know, it's impromptu chat. Scott, are the McDonald's over there all computer screens now with just people in the kitchen? People are banning some of them because there is no one to pay, and the computer screens are malfunctioning. We have people serving still in every single restaurant. We do have a lot of the screens, but not all the restaurants have the screens, and all the restaurants, to my knowledge, and I've been in a lot of them, still have the counter option. I don't use the screens. I won't use the screens because people are dirty and they're going in there and touching it. They'll go for a poo and then they'll go in there and touch the screens. And there's been a few tests done on the screens in this country, and they found E. coli bacteria all over the screens and everything. It's disgusting. So I won't use the screens. But you can see it slowly going that way, and they will have nobody serving soon, except the people who hand you the food. And maybe that'll be done by robots in the end. That's the good point, though, Sonny. When screens suddenly don't work, and this happens, what happens then? And how do you pay cash? Because I pay cash in McDonald's. How are you going to pay cash in a screen? They don't have a money feeder in it. You can only pay by card. Which means that kids won't be able to eat in there then, because kids can't have cash cards. Can't over here anyway. You know, they all go in and pay with their dinner money. I only watch movies on the screen. It's the only way to watch a movie, and it's Skookum. Where else would you watch it? I'm watching myself on my screen now. Maybe I've misunderstood that. Mark Devlin has done some great talk shows on the sinister side of music and Hollywood. Yeah, I mean, it's like a lot of music and movies to desensitize you to a lot of stuff. And the news is the worst for it, because people think that the news is fact when it's not. But they desensitize you to so many things. And at the moment, they're desensitizing everybody to child abuse. It looks like people are getting in trouble for it when they're not. You think that a celebrity or a politician's getting done for, you know, some form of child abuse, and then it all comes out that they don't get done in the end. You know, it all gets dropped or whatever, or suddenly they were innocent. And it's to desensitize us all to it, so that eventually when they pass a law saying, well, yeah, you can do whatever you want to kids now, nobody will bother. And nobody will. Nobody fucking will. This is the thing. They're locking people up for nothing here, and not locking them up for real crimes. The police do nothing now. The police do nothing. Here on the island, we don't get much of the McDonald's, Burger Kings, and no Walmarts. We don't have the populations for it. I don't think there's any McDonald's on your islands, is there? I was having a look around them and I couldn't see a single one. But you see, go back here 40 years ago, we didn't have McDonald's. Now, we did now in this reality, but we didn't in my reality. McDonald's came in when I was a young child. And we had dozens of cafes in a street where you could get decent quality food really, really cheap, but it was good quality. Now, okay, McDonald's, you might say, is cheap. not when you consider how it's all made and everything, but there is very little choice here because we've got McDonald's and Burger King. That's all you've got. You can either have chicken from KFC or a beef burger from McDonald's or Burger King or chicken from Nando's, and there's very little other choice. Some places still do have a few cafes here and there, but you wouldn't eat in them. You whippersnappers and your wheelie boards. I used to have to walk to the deli and use the machine to play a video game, Donkey Kong or Pac-Man. Yeah, you couldn't play these things in your house, could you? You could play simpler versions of them, but that was it. I'm really far behind on the chat again. Right. I'll skip down a bit to... Oh, bloody hell, I'm half an hour behind here, guys. I wasn't, though. How's that happened? Right, fair enough. All the timestamps just changed. That was really weird. Hello, Vault Team 6. Have you had censorship on yours? Doesn't surprise me. I mean, first of all, they demonetize. So they take the profit out of doing anything, which is enough to put some people off. But the ones who stick in there and carry on doing it, even with virtually no money on it, they then just start shadow banning, don't they? It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Apple is hearsay. We would revolt in the US if we had to have a TV license. They did in Australia, and they got rid of the TV license that way down there. There is a lot of people now just refusing to pay it, and there is nothing they can do unless they get in your house and catch you watching the television. So if you don't answer the door and they can't see it from the window, then there's nothing they can do. But if one of these people sees the telly on in your house through the window, they can do you through that. It's unbelievable. They use more scare tactics than anything with it, but people, I don't think anybody ever has gone to prison for it, but you potentially can. And it's one of those that's just going to be used on who they want to use it on. They've got nothing else on them. So, all right, well, you've not got a TV license, you're going to prison. Selectively enforced. But people here just lie down and take it. They really do. And beg for more. It's just unbelievable. Oh, the new Alan Partridge show, PlayStation. Yeah, I did watch that as well, actually. I like Steve. Well, I don't like Steve Coogan. He's become an arrogant twat. But I do like watching him when he's doing his Alan Partridge character. He reminds me very much of an old boss of mine. I think he actually was based on that guy, because he was saying in an interview once, he says, I've based Alan Partridge on, he says, I go to these things like Institute of Directors dinners, and I based it on the kind of people there, he says, and, certain people there are a certain way. And my boss, who was a director of the company, he said, I remember seeing that Steve Coogan, that Alan, he called him Alan Partridge. I saw that Alan Partridge at a few of the directors of Institute dinners, and I told him what I thought of him. I thought it was an arsehole. I thought, do you know what? It is you he's based on. Oh, well, I'm 63, so I'm literally 2 generations behind what is happening now. A lot of it seems foreign to me. It does to me, mate, and I'm only just above that. You know, I'm in my early 40s. So yeah, at 63, you must wonder what the fuck this world's gone to, because I do. I actually found a Bigfoot shelter. Well, where did that go? I just found a Bigfoot shelter when I was a kid, but didn't realize it was a Bigfoot thing until I saw a video with the same type of structure. The reason I know it was Bigfoot is because the structure was gone the next day. It was a big igloo made out of sticks with an opening on the top like a volcano. I found one of them in my ghost hunt on my other channel, One Man Ghost Hunt. I think it was the last hunt I did. And there was one of them in the woods near us. I thought witches had built it. I thought it was a little wicker house for witches or something. Mind you, ours was small, so we must have small foots here. Start traveling with a can of Lysol and some antibacterial wipes. Yeah. Or latex gloves and then use the screen. Well, would the latex pick up on the touch screens? I don't know. But yeah, I won't touch those screens. And if McDonald's goes that way, I'll just not have McDonald's anymore. How are they going to do the drive-through? I'll just have to get my bike and go around on my push bike. There will be a P on the end of LGBT. In fact, they did. There was a couple of protests in America where they did that already. You can find that on YouTube. And it will be, because it'll be like, well, it's not a lifestyle choice, you know, it's how you're born. So it has to be legal, otherwise you're violating their rights. How do you know you don't know my age? How do you know what? Well, I don't know. They're having a private chat. I'll leave them to it. Hello, Flatman. I'm in Manchester in the UK, mate. I'm on the computer way more than I ever watch TV. Now, this is the thing, Jack, right? You used to be able to go on YouTube and watch. You could watch YouTube all day long. You know what I mean? If you've got nothing else to do all day, you could watch YouTube all day long and find something entertaining on there. But you can't now, because of all this shadow banning, and they're pushing down the algorithms, and they're stopping you, even channels you subscribe to and you've clicked the bell on, you don't get all notifications. YouTube came out and admitted this the other week. They choose what notifications you get. And so now I go to my YouTube homepage and there's nothing on there I want to watch. It comes up with all this Fox, this fucking BBC. Oh, look at this latest BBC program. No fucking thanks. If I wanted to watch TV, I'd turn the fucking TV on. I come on YouTube to get away from that. YouTube are killing themselves at the moment. YouTube are going to be gone at this rate, because the very people that built the whole network up, the creators, they're not showing their stuff, not even to people who subscribe to them. They're pushing mainstream stuff on them instead. And people come to YouTube to get away from that. And YouTube think that they're going to do, they've even admitted they've lost £72 billion this year, I think, because they changed the algorithms and people are spending less time on YouTube. You get to a point on YouTube now where you think, right, well, it's offering me nothing new. I mean, I'm getting offered videos from 12 years ago. Do you want to watch this from 12 years ago? No, I fucking don't. One, I've already watched it 12 years ago. And two, it's not the sort of shit I'm into anymore. They've fucked YouTube up. They really have. And I don't ever see it coming back. I don't even think they'll change it back. They're going to lose more and more money, and people will just turn away from it. Same happened with Facebook. Same's happening with all of them. They have gone to jail for not being able to pay it. Have people gone? I've not seen anybody actually go to prison for not paying the TV license. Seen it for council tax, but I've not actually seen it for TV license myself. But you know, I don't know what goes on in every court in the land. So yeah, absolutely. If you've seen that, then that happens. Yeah, they catch you in the net. So that Netflix, that's another one that's doing interesting stuff at the moment, but they do some quite controversial stuff as well. They'll stop doing that after a bit, and once everybody's in the net, like you say, then they'll just put out mainstream shit again. I just grab one of the napkins and use the screen through that. Still registers. Thanks for the tip. Mind you, if your touch goes through, then perhaps the germs still do. Oh, Cat's Eye's in. Hello, Cat's Eye. 53, Sonny's 50, Preliminals 54, Skookum's 64. She's knocked a few years off there, let me tell you. She'll kill me. Is it Skooks' birthday? Happy birthday, Skookum. I should know that. I think you said it the other day, didn't you? I don't know. Can't remember. I think I already wished you happy birthday. I need to make my kitchen, but don't want to miss anything, so I'll take my phone. You need to make your kitchen? Oh, Kichari. Okay, whatever that is. Doesn't sound very appetizing. I guess I can't say it was 100% Bigfoot, but it definitely wasn't made by a human. The weaving of the branches was too intricate and the structure was really strong. It didn't crumble under me. Well, he climbed up on it. Bloody Nora. Climbed on it to go inside. I'm a Libra, supposed to be balanced, but this place is severely out of balance, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I bloody do. And I do wonder if there is anything in all that star sign stuff. You can read it and think, yeah, that describes me to a T. But try reading another one and see if that does. I've found that, you know, you read one, you think, yeah, I can relate to most of that. And then read another one and think, well, I can relate to most of that as well. Got man. Oh, there. Did you hear that? That's the cat saying he wants to go out. Come on, then. He's going out again. I'd just like to say, guys, drink Coca-Cola. It's great. It's going to be great when I drink it. It's a great drink. Great, great, great. Make Coke great again. Oh, just saw that on the side. Do you know Jez Care of a cretin ratio? No, don't, mate. YouTube hasn't been really good since 2007, really. Yeah, which is when I got into conspiracy theories, and I learned a lot of what I know about the world today from YouTube. Things like loose change, taught me about the banking system and the way the banking system works. And that's when I could see that we really were indebted to money. And kind of understood where they come from when they say money's the root to all evil. That's where I started to understand all that. Although I still say money's not the root to all evil. I think it now says the love of money is the root to all evil. That probably is true. But also when they say, just money itself money's just a tool. Debt. They get you with debt, and that's the root to evil, because once you're in debt, you're fucked, you're screwed, you're in the system, and you'll do anything to get out of debt. YouTube will be bought out and replaced, just like when Facebook bought out MySpace. Yeah, but who's going to buy it? Probably Facebook. If I had the means to start a YouTube type of service, I would make it so there was no restrictions at all. Right, now, that's been done. DTube. But nobody uses it. Nobody uses it. Perhaps in the future, people will switch over. But people haven't done it in droves so far. Minds.com, that's another one that is quite a free platform. I don't see any censorship on there, but it hasn't got enough people. I've posted stuff on both those, and none of them have generated any kind of views. Hello, Joseph. Now, what you're saying there, Jack, as well about you post up whatever you want, but it's up to the individual to take care of copyright or being offended by the content. Well, that'd be fine in America, but the platform would not be available in Europe because there's a law being passed now. I don't think it's quite through yet. Article 13, where it makes YouTube now responsible for what I do. If I put up a copyright thing on YouTube, YouTube gets done, not me. It's made the platforms personally liable for what goes on there. So even if you did make your own platform, it'd just get blocked in Europe because you wouldn't comply to the European laws. Hopefully I'd still be able to get on it because Brexit will happen. It's not fucking likely, is it? We have some strange sounding thunder here. All right, I've not gotten out here. Oh, that's an aeroplane going over. Synchronicity. Like, don't use the service if you can't handle it. Yeah, I mean, like a freedom of speech thing. I mean, what you do is you give the people on there the ability to block who they don't like. I think that's a good part of YouTube, is that you can block people. You know, if somebody's offensive to you, you just fucking block them. They're gone. All right, you can open up new accounts and start again, but you just keep blocking them. And I've had to do that a lot. But that's one thing people don't do. It's like on Facebook. People say, oh, I've been harassed by this person for years. Block them. Fucking block them. Oh, don't block them and just ignore them. I mean, fucking hell, if I got upset over all the abuse I got on fucking YouTube and other platforms, fucking hell, I'd be miserable. I got somebody the other day giving me a load of shit. Some heavy metal hairdresser. He put under my video, "You're very boring." So I just put something back like, "Well, you're boring. Your comment's boring." And then I went and watched one of his videos. He's even more boring than I am. But that's mild. That's nothing. You know what I mean? He might not have even been being serious. He might have thought he was having a joke or whatever. But yeah, people get too offended by everything nowadays. And this is the thing, this snowflake thing. I mean, this is a new thing in it, snowflakes, but not just the term, but actual people who are snowflakes. They get offended by their own shadow. People are so easily offended nowadays. It's ridiculous. I was saying that my birthday was May the 1st and it was on the iHome television screen. I watched things. Ah, right. iHome television. Oh, iHome. You got an iHome. Check you out. PewDiePie started using DTube. Well, he's still posting up on YouTube, isn't he? And he'll never leave it. And doesn't matter if he's posting on DTube as well, as long as he's still posting on YouTube, then he's still using the platform, isn't he? I bet he's not got a following on DTube anywhere near what he's got on here. Khichdi is an Indian dish with brown basmati rice and yellow split mung beans. What the bloody hell's a split mung bean? It sounds like an illness. And spices cooked with ghee, etc. She says etc. like I'm going to know the rest of the ingredients. I'm not very good with foreign food. There's an app called YouNow or something like that, and it's like YouTube. Well, the fact you can't even remember its name, Tammy, shows you how bloody popular it is, doesn't it? This is a thing. No platform will, at the moment, take over. I don't know. Maybe it'll happen soon. I think it's probably getting closer because YouTube have said, look, people aren't engaging as much as they used to anymore. I mean, you've got LiveLeak. LiveLeak's a good site, but it's just not as easy to navigate around. I'm not sure what censorship goes on LiveLeak, whether there is even any. I don't know. But there is alternative platforms, and there have been for a long time. But people just go to YouTube because it's all part of Google, and everyone lives in a Google life. I mean, your phone's Google, your fucking everything's Google, isn't it? I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that Google own Apple, you know. The fucking greed of these companies is ridiculous. What do these companies think they're losing if you use 20 seconds of their song or video? It's insanity. Yeah. And again, that's about control, isn't it? It's like they're power mad. They're power mad. It's more about power than money. It really is. They've got money. They've got as much money as they could ever need. It's more about power and their ideology, putting their ideology in the world. Problem is that you can't tell what people mean because it's just written words. Yeah, you take a lot of stuff wrong in texts. Who's having anxiety attacks? Get yourself some herb. See you later, Tammy. Boiled mung beans. Still don't sound very appetizing, Skookum. I know what baked beans are. You love them. Beans on toast, cat's eye, hey? Mind you, they can't spell beans anymore, can they? With a Z. B-E-A-N-Z. Beans. And then means. M-E-A-N-Z. Heinz. Well, they can have a Z in Heinz if they want. I don't mind that, but they can't even bloody spell it on the tin anymore. I'm in California and we have international markets, and an Indian friend of mine introduced me to it. We have European markets here. This is the trouble with Europe, right? We don't have like an African market. We don't have an Indian market or anything like that. These are all European. So it's like a German, a French. So the French one's just doing like cheese, and they eat some disgusting cheese in France. It's like, get it moldy and then we shall eat it once it is full of mold. The Germans just make sausages, so that's all you get from them. There might be a Swiss one down the road. It's just chocolate. It's like, it's all stuff we can buy in the shops anywhere in our markets. So it's fucking, our markets are, they don't do international here. It's all got to be European. Saw something about Twitch there, and my chat just bloody jumped again. Twitch might overtake YouTube because that's quite popular now. Twitch certainly big for gamers, isn't it? Maybe that's the one that people will go to. It's probably the second biggest, isn't it? I've not used Twitch for a long time, but maybe that is. You see, the other thing is, will it be monetized? Because a lot of these alternative platforms aren't monetized. They'll put cryptocurrency on it or something, but it's fucking worthless. And so I think now that YouTube have sort of brought that incentive in of monetization, a lot of people won't be interested in going to it if it's not monetized. YouTube will just be there for niche things like kids' videos. I think it'll always be big for that. Like videos made to entertain kids, because parents are so lazy nowadays. They just sit their kids with a tablet there, bump, watch that, watch Tiana, watch this, watch that. That's probably where the market's going to be. So I need to crack that market next. Once the people get sick of this bullshit, and there will be a transition to whatever comes next. Just a matter of getting the word out, and the next platform has to be as easy as this. And that's the other thing as well. It's only easy because we're used to it, isn't it? To be honest, but you'd soon get used to a new platform if you did transition over to one. But I just don't know what it'll be. I really don't. I do know it's 1 o'clock in the morning here, though, guys. So I think it's about time I got off. All in one market, Korean, American. Yeah, you see, we don't have Korean. We don't have anything like that here. It's all, unless it's in Europe, it's not allowed. Yeah, Adam, a lot of Polish shops by me. Yeah, Poland's in Europe. Have to go to Walt Disney Film to see the other foods. To Walt Disney. Don't even know what they are. I'm sure they're good, but mung sounds like dung. Need to change the name. Greek Gyro's place near me because they make them so good. Greek, Europe. See what I mean? I know a couple of Iranian guys who run a restaurant, and they run an Italian restaurant. They call it Italian. They're from Iran. But they don't say that to people. They can't. People think of Iranians as terrorists here, even though they're not. Bloody lovely people. I know a few Iranians, and they're really, really, really nice people. They're just like us. They're just like us. Yeah. But they call their restaurant Italian just so that people will go. We don't even have that many Indian takeaways anymore. Yeah, the Iranian's not a cook. Oof. Bang on food. Right, guys. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Sunny 3 is going to upload something shortly, so I'll catch that before I go to bed. Thanks for coming in, everyone. It's been a nice chat. I was going to play a game, but there you go. Origin stopped me, so we went on a rant instead. I don't know how to stop this stream. I can serve up an advert. Here, have an advert. I'll pay the bills. Night, everyone. Oh, end stream. Big button, end stream.